Hi everybody, this is Martin speaking. Welcome to our presentation for the T1000 project, a co-working and hostel investment opportunity in the hotel market segment in Siargao in the Philippines. I didn't have the time to meet all of my good old friends. However, I thought this presentation could help to give more clearness about the project. The project details: it's a co-working and hostel project in Siargao. It's a two-story building with a coffee area and a co-working space area. This co-working concept is quite famous right now and there's a big trend in the global market. However, the main revenue will come from the hostel and it will help us to achieve very high occupancy rates. At the moment, we're planning two-story building, 38 rooms with 180 single beds over 2 floors. There's a 12 months construction period, very easy design concept. The good news is there will be full ownership of the land. Normally you cannot buy land in Philippines. However, we found a way to incorporate a Philippine incorporation company and under the tourist segment and to put $200,000 as a startup capital, and then it can be owned 100% by foreigners. So the Philippine incorporation will be owned by 100% foreign individuals or a company in Singapore. So most likely we'll set up a Singapore company, which then become individual shareholders, Martin Strahota and the equity partners. It's a corner plot. It's a full title, 1,000 square meter. Land appreciation is expected 24 to 40% over the first 1 to 3 years. However, in my scenario calculation, I only assumed 24% per annum, but we are not certain about that one. The investment facts on the financial parts: capital is required for the whole project, including the land, construction, inventory, setup cost, and operation for the first months, even without income. It's $797,000. An expected yield of around 22 to 31% per annum, on an occupancy level of 60% to 70% for the first 2 years. Onwards, we calculate with 75%. The payback time is 37 months. The land price today is $192,000. There's an option to construct in 2 phases and to not employ too much of the capital. So we will do 2-story buildings, a co-working space, but we will only build half of it. And then later on, when the business is running, we do the phase 2. There's a possibility to get maybe a 30% construction loan based on the land value and on the construction cost itself. So the deal with Martin is as followed. Martin will run and execute the whole project. He actually will do everything. He will receive a 20% share stake, as sweat money and project money. 80% of the shares go to the key investor because he put in all the equity. The key investor gets paid out first till 607,000 is paid off, because the land value still has 190,000. So if anything goes wrong, they have the cash back and they're sitting on the land, or we are sitting on the land. So that's quite fair. Monthly project fee to Martin is very reasonable, $2,200 US per month. Cash flow wise, we looked at over the next 55 months, and it's actually breaking even on month number 37. We have a 12 months construction period, and from then onwards we receive the first income, which is an orange line, cumulated income, and will break even after 37 months. Break even means payback time to pay back the whole $797,000 US dollar. The gray line is the production cost, the project cost, 797,000, and the yellow line is the land value. And we have a P&L analysis in an Excel sheet, which I will send per email, but technically it says we are calculating on 60% occupancy rate. We are expecting 31% yield before taxes, and the VAT and the booking fees already deducted. And construction cost is 459,000. The inventory is 886,000. The land price is 192,000 US dollar, and the setup cost is only 7,800. This is how co-working space look like. It's a very common concept. It will be very minimal, just wooden table and concrete flooring and some design. Hostel impressions. So it's very common in this area to stay in hostels and bunk beds or single beds. Actually, we have single beds. The room rates in the area. So hostels itself, it's between 600 and 800 pesos per night. But these are hostels in bunk beds, in dormitory rooms with maybe 8 or 20 other people. Yeah, and there are only 128 listings, and they're all on booking.com. Airbnb are the strongest booking systems there. Rates really starting from 400 pesos, very low end without aircon, with aircon 500, average is 600. It's the prices per bed in the whole area. And 700, 800 already the better ones with AC. We are charging 800 to 900 with co-working space and very modern beds, and in single 2-bedroom studios with own bathroom, hot water and aircon. We researched the area already the last 3-4 months. I myself have been there 3 times already. I looked at 28 plots. They're all analyzed in an Excel sheet, and just to get an understanding of pricing, availability, what's the difference between lease and purchase price. So today's most plots are between 8,000 and 24,000 pesos per square meter. That is the asking price. And they're all in between downtown, General Luna, and in the north, Cloud9, and everything in between. Land prices in the area over the last 4 years increased massively. Just 2017, as Boracay closed, there was a big hype in Boracay. There was a movie, and now the tourism is on a very massive uptrend. So there are more tourists and beds available in this area. And prices today 8,000 to 20,000 pesos per square meter. We found our plot is 10,000 per square meter. It's direct in the heart of General Luna itself. It's 5 minutes to downtown. It's 7 minutes to Cloud9, 30 minutes to the airport, and we don't need to be on beachfront or any prime location, just not too far away. So we don't need to pay a big premium or any premium at all. And because our co-working space, people will easily 5 to 10 minutes easily go to work on a weekly basis. And mostly they will stay for 1 week or for 1 month. Tourists in Philippines can extend every month, so 1, 2, 3, 4 months is no problem for them. It's really a nice corner plot. I know the owner, she lives in Philippines and Manila, spoke many times to her, so the conditions already pre-agreed. We still have to do a proper purchase agreement. The architect saw the plot, done the calculation already. We had to adjust it slightly a little bit. And now we have a very good understanding, 90-95% understanding of what the total cost will be. He's very proven, 2nd generation, so I'm very confident to go with him for this project. That's a floor plan for the ground floor. It will be an L shape. We are really maximizing the plot. There's not much space. If the construction costs are too high, we can just do the very long back project. And 1 level, 2 levels, and in the front there will be co-working space and a reception with a coffee shop. And on the 2nd level, also individual rooms with a gallery L shape. And upstairs there will be 4 individual rooms with conference style, so very multi-purpose space usage. The team is, we have an architect, we have the project manager, which is in Singapore, also can support the architect. We have legal friends, we have property advisors in the area, we have a local support in the area. So the team is already established. And timeline is 12 months is construction, nothing too extraordinary. Planning 2-3 months, you can even start constructing during planning period, submission period. And yeah, multi-channel booking. And the ownership I explained already. So if we buy the land, we will fully own it, and it will have a quite significant value in the future, which is quite good always to own it. And that's a legal structure. I will not re-explain again. Singapore company will own the Philippine companies. Then the Philippine companies actually can start a hostel management company, which is a sole provider company, and just to protect us against the asset. And because if something happens, then we just close down the hostel management company, and we are protecting a little bit the Philippines Incorporation, which obviously is the owner of the land and the building. However, the building can also be owned by somebody else, by the Singaporean Private Limited or by a private person. That can be discussed later. Then the hotel management is actually leasing it from the Philippines Incorporation company and then pays a fixed amount either to Singapore or to the Philippines Incorporation company. So yeah, that is one of the projects we have in pipeline, but the vision is to become a quite solid player in Siargao, in this beautiful island tourist market, and in near future find a plot, nice opportunity, put the right project on it, and then do a beachfront hotel, another hostel, whatever comes across. Thank you for your time. I hope your meeting will be great, and we have a conference called maybe tomorrow. Thank you very much. Martin Strachota.